Hi, I'm Artifacts. My comp's acting up, so you'll have to make do with a picture of my lovable avatar, Herbert. Um, on Second Life, there are a number of Christian sims. Some are small, some are big, some are in between. Generally speaking, I would say the larger ones are the worst ones in terms of fake Christians. And before anybody starts with me, I'm an agnostic, alright? I don't care what your religion is. I'm not sure what to believe anymore. The one thing I have learned is that there are a great deal of fake Christians on these sims. And it's not limited to just one by any means. Generally, I would say the higher up they are, the more powerful, the more fake they're likely to be. I just got thrown out of a so-called Christian sim, and I didn't even do anything wrong. It was a strange incident, and I still don't know what was going on. Well, it alerted me the fact that the people running it are fake Christians and completely useless. The one is a very nasty woman. If you look close, you might see a picture. Don't ask me how I got it. I'll bring that up. I'll throw it in there eventually. A couple of years ago, there was a big incident where a pastor got thrown out of one of these churches, and somebody else got put in there. It took me a while to piece together what had happened, because I caught one of the senior members, caught him in the act of doing so-called griefing, and that was a fake incident. They, one of the people who's on senior staff at this one particular church now was caught in the act of griefing. I managed to catch the one of the little pictures that was flying down, and I checked to see whose name was on it, and his name was on it. And this time, point in time, he was an unknown to me. But I eventually found out where he came from and all this. So essentially, it was a little coup within the church. They staged the stuff. They staged a griefing attack in order to get this other guy out. So I still, listen to the show, but I know almost the whole setup is fake. There's some that are sincere, but I know the major setup is fake. I'm not going to name the setup or where this happened or anything. But you need to be aware, especially if you're a Christian, you're going to these sims. The bigger they are, generally the more corrupt they are. And there's been other things. Like my being thrown out at one place yesterday, it was beyond belief. On Sunday, I mean, it was beyond belief. I didn't do anything to instigate anything. I didn't cause any problems. I was suspended in the air trying to figure out how to get in, and I couldn't get in. I was trying to figure out what was going on when I got banned. So I bounced around up in the air trying to figure out what's going on because I never had any problems before, except that finding my way around was never all that easy. And some bitch has me thrown out of the place. And I didn't even do anything wrong. So then I asked what was going on the chat group part of it and started discussing some things with others, and I got thrown out of there. It was then that I learned who had done this. So I complained to the pastor, and the fake pastor refused even to answer me. I have since learned something about these churches. Apparently there's a big fuss going around between them. I don't mind somebody creating an alt and pretending to be somebody they're not. I even do that. I have an alt. But I do mind it when they're taking advantage of people, and that's what these idiots are apparently doing. This is some kind of a game. Maybe it's just a money-making game. I've learned some things about these people that are just unbelievable. One of the pastors I mentioned got shot, and I know not for a fact, but I at least suspect that it was another guy that had been in the same church, and he caught his wife with this guy and shot him. At least that's what the claim was. So there's an unbelievable amount of nastiness going around on Second Life and these Christian Sims. I take this religion with a grain of salt as a result. And one of the things is, you look at Genesis, alright, somebody want to explain to me how Genesis survived the flood? In other words, the Adam and Eve story, how did that survive the flood? So, there's all sorts of unanswered questions. But I don't want to get into religion. I'm just warning you people, especially, the Christians out there, and people who are thinking about becoming Christians. There's an incredible amount of fakes and frauds right there in Second Life. Bigger the church, more likely it is to be fake and total BS. So, in summary, watch your P's and Q's, keep an eye on them, and I don't know, use your discernment to figure out who's real and who's not. I don't want to name specific names so I don't wind up getting sued for slander. But I don't mind floating a picture or two. That's all.